So basically here we're trying to change our handbrake cable out today. Whenever you're taking off this cup holder, you got these little plastic pucks. Underneath those you got these flathead screws right here, these sort of things underneath down in those bores. So once you take this thing off, you have this underneath here, which you can undo with 2 Phillips screwdrivers. And there's the nut for the emergency brake cables, which we're going to try to undo. And we'll see what we got going on. And as you can see out here, we already have our brakes all undone and they're pretty much ready to go. I'm just waiting on my rotors to get here. Whenever I ordered rotors, I ordered the wrong set that went for a quattro, so they didn't fit over the rear wheel hubs. That was a pain in the butt. I tied a string to the emergency brake cable now that we have that undone, enough to slide the ends up over that little bar. And hopefully this keeps me from losing that and helps aid in feeding the new one through. Here we will remove the windage tray sort of shield for in the rear. This cable disappears up under exhaust shroud sort of things. So we're going to remove those next. We're getting the exhaust shield loose up here to get these e-brake cables out. It actually might give me access to the bottom shifter bushing too, which would be pretty cool. It looks like we're going to have to at least drop the exhaust at the rear exhaust hanger back here so the whole thing can dangle. And I bet you I could get that cable out of there. So we got that thing dropped all the way in the rear there. And it's giving me plenty of room to wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And out it comes with my string attached to it, so now I can feed the other one up easier. Alright, just so we have an idea what's going on, I got the emergency brake cable out of the caliper. You got to get this little rubber bellows piece through the bracket there. You got to loosen up where the cable comes through the grommet right about here. In order to do this bung here, what I did is I loosened up this piece here on the top. You get a hold of one of the corners here and you pry this bung out. It makes guiding this out of your lower control arm infinitely easier, because then you just grab it by the back, the control arm, and pull it through. I wish I could show you how that happens, but I haven't got enough hands. Now that that cable's out of the LCA, there's a little plastic clip right there that we need to undo to pull it out. And after that, it comes out pretty good. I tried to position the camera, but no guarantees this is gonna work. Oh hell, I know it's not gonna work. Alright, I cleaned up these tubes for the emergency brake cable, sandblasted and powder coated them, so hopefully they stay a lot nicer. They do end up fitting over these. Everything seems to be pretty exact, so that's good. I've decided to go ahead and start playing with getting the shifter out of here, which, as you can imagine, is a rather involved process. But we're getting there. I have a little bit of play in the shifter. I don't know if it's correct or not, but I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it should be that sloppy. It's not terrible, but I'm picky about these sort of things, so we'll see how this turns out. Right now, I'm just going ahead and removing those 2 screws I was talking about earlier, getting that out of there, and pulling out those 2 screws, and we'll get this moved up and out. Alright guys, while we're in here, I'm going to go ahead and change the pull rod for the emergency brake, along with the nut for the pull rod. I got these parts from ECS Tuning, so hopefully you can see them. This is the OEM balancer piece for the 2. I didn't bother replacing that. I couldn't foresee anything going wrong with that piece. I have the stock pull rod pulled off already, but as you can tell, it's kind of faded into the abyss. But this is what we're looking at right now. I'm getting into the shifter. This center console's out. Basically, you have to, once you get these undone over here, you have to pull the plastic away, and then the whole thing just whoop Once these are undone, and everything up through here that's going to be bindy. I forgot to undo this at first, but I was able to slide it down through the center console, so that worked out pretty well. But yeah, this is how this is going, and we'll let you know when we're done.